Departing together, yet one aura stood apart, the presence of Kim Taehyung that left ARMY silent at Incheon Airport. Welcome back to this channel. A quiet space for BTS fans who believe that not every moment needs to go viral to be meaningful. Here, we don't shout louder than others. We don't race against time. And we don't force stories to feel big. We slow down. We observe. And we allow meaning to surface on its own. Because often, the deepest stories arrive at night, when the world no longer feels the need to prove anything. Night at Incheon Airport. Night wrapped Incheon Airport in quiet light. A dark sky stretched wide beyond the glass walls. No stars demanding attention. Only the soft glow of runway lights, reflecting in long, silent lines. The airport never truly sleeps. But at night it speaks more gently. The sound of rolling suitcases becomes clearer. Footsteps echo longer. Every movement feels more honest. No longer swallowed by daytime noise. And in spaces like this, human presence reveals itself as it truly is. An unannounced arrival. There was no special announcement that night. No headlines prepared in advance. Yet the cameras were ready. ARMY was already watching. Not for spectacle, but to confirm a feeling. Was it real? BTS arrived together. A familiar formation. An energy long recognized. They are no longer just idols. They are part of global cultural history. But that night, ARMY wasn't counting achievements. ARMY was sensing something subtle. When focus shifts unnoticed, cameras moved from one face to another. Flashes lit the space briefly, then faded. And between those moments of light, without signal, without intention, attention slowly narrowed. Not because someone stood out more, but because someone was calmer. Kim Taehyung walked among them. Not ahead. Not behind. His steps were steady. Like someone no longer racing against expectations. A presence that does not ask to be seen. He didn't search for the camera. He didn't avoid it either. His gaze was gentle, yet not empty. No exaggerated smile. No manufactured mystery. He simply existed. Whole. And in that moment, the night itself seemed to slow down. ARMY didn't react immediately. There were no collective shouts. What emerged instead was a strange silence. One that could be felt, not heard. ARMY's quiet response. On social media, reactions arrived like whispers. Why does it feel different? It's not his appearance. Tae looks incredibly calm tonight. No complicated theories. No dramatic claims. Just one word. Appearing again and again. In different forms. Aura. What is aura, really? Aura is not something learned overnight. It is shaped by time. By failure. By long silences unseen by cameras. Kim Taehyung has passed the phase of explaining himself, of proving his talent, of fitting into expectations. And that night, what appeared was not the process, but the result. Quiet maturity. He did not carry the energy of, "Look at me." There was no urgency in his steps. No hunger for attention in his gaze. No need to announce his presence before the room could feel it. Instead, he carried the energy of, "I know who I am." An energy that does not rush. because it is not afraid of being left behind. An energy that does not demand space, because it already belongs wherever it stands. Unhurried, unrestless, like someone who understands that nothing meaningful is ever built in haste. Like someone who has learned that silence is not emptiness, but clarity. He moved like a person who has already walked a long road, and no longer needs to convince anyone that the journey was real, because it shows, not in gestures, not in expressions, but in stillness. And that kind of strength does not raise its voice. It does not compete. It does not explain itself. It simply remains. Night as a witness. Night has a way of revealing what daylight often hides. It softens the noise. It slows the pace. And it gently removes everything that does not matter. At night, there is less performance, less pretending, less urgency to be seen, only presence. Under the white airport lights, Kim Taehyung's silhouette looked simple. No dramatic contrast, no exaggerated motion, just clean lines, calm posture, a figure standing comfortably within his own space. Yet within that simplicity, something deeper surfaced. A sense of weight. Not heavy, but grounded. He did not steal the stage. He did not pull focus by force. Instead, he filled the space. Like quiet music in a room. You don't notice it at first, but once it's there, its absence would feel impossible. The night seemed to pause around him. Not because time stopped, but because nothing needed to rush. As the plane prepares to depart, a boarding announcement echoed softly through the terminal. Not sharp, not commanding, just enough to remind everyone that time was still moving. Steps began to shift. Luggage rolled forward. The rhythm of the airport returned. The plane would take off. The runway lights would blur into distance. And night would slowly give way to morning. Everything followed its schedule. Everything. Except the feeling that lingered. Because for ARMY, something stayed behind. Not an image to be replayed. Not a clip to be looped. But a sensation. A quiet recognition. Departing together. In the same place. At the same time. Yet one aura stood apart. Not louder. Not brighter. But deeper. And perhaps that is the clearest sign of someone who has reached a rare calm. The kind that does not need explanation. The kind that does not require validation. The kind that comes only after years of becoming. If you felt it too. If you found yourself pausing, rewatching, or sitting with that moment longer than usual, you were not imagining it. You were simply noticing. Because true aura never shouts. It does not ask to be seen. It does not ask to be understood. It simply exists. And those who are attentive, those who have learned to listen beyond sound, will always hear it.